The culture is like root. When I say teach children, you're not going to say from culture. Because no more canoes. Nobody selling. Selling is from culture. Children is from culture. Nobody gonna teach the old man or they teach the young one. Because the young one is still growing up, right? Nobody say, I'm gonna teach the old man. Yeah, nobody say that. Then you say, I say three times only from culture.
Grandmaster Navigator Pius Mao Piailug from the tiny island of Satawal in the Caroline Islands of Micronesia. First came to Hawaii in the mid-1970s, as if through the mists of time. Bucking tradition and breaking taboos of his homeland, he brought back to the Hawaiian people the ancient and lost art of wayfinding, non-instrumental navigation, bringing life back to a culture that was dying. Guiding the Hokulea, the replica of an ancient Hawaiian voyaging canoe, on her maiden voyage from Hawaii to Tahiti in 1976, Mao navigated across 31 days and 2,400 miles of open ocean, a feat not attempted nor accomplished in Polynesia for centuries. From that time forward, up to and including the voyage aboard the sailing canoe Makali'i in 1999 that sailed the master home to Micronesia, Mao's gift and singular presence helped ignite a cultural renaissance that reawakened island people across all the Pacific. A simple islander who crossed an ocean and changed the world. In 2001, Mao comes to Hawaii for 3 reasons. To visit with Shorty and Clay Bertelman, navigator and captain of the Makali'i. To talk about the canoe Clay intends to build for Mao to bring home to Micronesia as a learning tool. And most importantly, to receive a long overdue public tribute from the Hawaiian Voyagers, 25 years after Mao's first voyage on Hokulea. Watching Mao studying the ocean, one wonders, how much ancient knowledge does he carry inside him that will never be known? In Hawaii, Mao is recognized everywhere, like a movie star.
What island do you live on?
Charawan. Charawan, close to Guam.
Mao's reasons for all he has done is simply this.
That's why stick. I want to put the stick between birds and pigeons. Like bridge, walk on them. And I only went from one side.
Family and the culture. These are the 2 themes that run through Mao's story, and why he hopes for a canoe to be built for Micronesia. Because the great irony is while Mao brought the culture back to Hawaii, in his own homeland, it is disappearing. First on Mao's agenda is flying with his son Cesario and with Clay Bertelman to Maui to inspect the mode Clay hopes to use for the hulls for Mao's canoe.
Oh, we can go look at them,
Okay.
to see maybe we got to do this 6 days or fix that or whatever.
Yeah.
How old were you the first time you flew on an airplane?
I think 4 years. I mean 40.
And where did you fly from?
Yeah. You have to Guam, swam to Honolulu.
That was to meet with the Hokulea crew.
Oh, yes.
Did you like flying?
Yeah. I don't know, because I remember when the engine is broke, the plane is fall down. I don't know, in the water or on the land.
You like it better on the ocean?
Oh, yeah. That's why I like go on the canoe because no problem. But the plane is full, big problem.
Meeting them, flying in from Hilo, are Desmond Anton and John Kikua. Desmond and John are among the main organizers of the Extravaganza Festival to be held in Hilo at the end of June. Working with Clay Bertelman and his non-profit organization Nakalaiva'a, Extravaganza will host the tribute to Mao.
Two elements in here. As soon as you mention Hokulea.
Clay Bertelman, a Special Forces soldier in Vietnam, a crew member and later captain on Hokulea, was the driving force behind the building of Makali'i in 1994. It is his determination to fulfill Mao's only request of the Hawaiian Voyagers, to build a voyaging canoe for Micronesia to help save the culture in his homeland. That will make Clay the driving force behind Mao's canoe. Clay is determined to raise the six-figure funds it will take to build the canoe for Mao, as a thank you to him, for his single-handed generosity of bringing back the voyaging culture to the Hawaiian people.
So, Papa, remember that with Hokulea, we get him in the warehouse?
Yeah.
The same one.
Same one.
After he popped the hull, he come up this way, we go out, and more high.
Mao knew the canoe was the underlying element for the Hawaiian people to reclaim and preserve their culture, not just the hula or the crafts, or the music or the language. The very essence of the culture was the canoe, the way Mao was raised on Sarawak.
Papa Christus, very medicine, welcome, and welcome to Satewa.
Welcome to Waikiki Beach.
Sipati pie, ele fae fenga, we anamanda, si puedo rach, on fani wana namogase. Yeah, work nation me.
On the
Papa Christos, steady day, welcome and welcome to Satewan and welcome to Satewan.
As a little boy, Mao was taught by his grandfather.
I am 4 years old and I started learning about navigation, build the canoe, the local medicine, build the house, everything I learned from him because he forced me. You don't go with your age for play around. You come stay with me. I like to talk to you. But me, I say, no way. I don't like to stay with him. I'm gonna stay with my age, gonna play around somewhere or on the beach. And he said, hey, no. Better you come stay with me. I like to teach you something because you don't know what time I'm gonna die, then you don't know nothing. Me, I said, no. Papa, you know, and I go with my age for play around. Then sometimes somebody leave from Sarawak to somewhere. Then I stay on the beach, I watch them. Where do they go? They're gonna fishing or what? And then I look the canoes and go far. They're gonna stay about 5 days, 1 week. When they come back, they bring the fish, bring the turtle. Then I go back to my grandfather, I'm gonna ask, when they're gonna go there, they're gonna bring the food over there? Yes, that's why. I like to teach you because when you're growing up, then you do that.
Once you began to learn with your grandfather,
Yeah.
is that what you did all the time?
Oh yeah.
You didn't go play anymore?
No. When I stay with him, after I watch the canoe go out, I stay with him all the time. Daytime, nighttime, sleeping with him. Then when I go fishing nighttime, he take me to outside.
So you really dedicated your life to learning.
On this beach in Sadawal is where Mao was taught by his grandfather, and inside this canoe house at night, he would listen and learn.
This is my canoe house, this one.
There are 8 uts, canoe houses or men's houses on Satawal, one for each village. Here the men gather every day to work on canoes or other crafts. In the old days, here the men gathered for kapisaniri matao, talk of the sea. But the men's house is also the local watering hole, where men gather to drink together and laugh. Mao sings a Satawalese song, hundreds of years old, written in that canoe house by a father whose son sailed off and was lost in a storm. Amazingly, from this tiny atoll, Mao influenced the entire Pacific. Back on Maui, Mao listens to the Hawaiian voyagers talk canoe.
What we're going to do is build a canoe like this. Then you take the people and you sit them down and you give them the history of the canoe. The canoe for the Polynesian or for islanders is the same mode of transportation like the covered wagon for those in the United States when they went from the one end to the other. That's our mode of transportation. Everything we do with the canoe. And even the canoe, the nomenclature, the makeup of the canoe, because the yaku is flexible. when you go inside a trough, the other one don't come way up like that, like the conventional one. She actually bend. You can, if you sit in the back, you can see the thing going down like this. That's ingenious for the Hawaiian. So the Hawaiians, the Polynesians, they had something, but we lost it because as one generation died, they never passed on because Hawaii never had written.
Mao and Sisara and the people from those islands, they live the culture. The culture is intact. I mean, yeah, they get the ships coming in, but if they ever left to themselves, they still can survive because they know not only navigation, they know how to plan, they know how to, all this kind of stuff. The whole complete system is still intact. And like for us, on the voyaging side, we're lucky that he came, and we're able to share too what we've learned, to go back and research our culture, now more fully understand why they did what they did and how they did what they did. Well, like what he told us some years ago, he said, it's good you guys learn, but you have to share, you have to teach. Because if you don't teach, these 25 years we stayed together, for nothing.
Yeah.
My brother was the first guy that he taught, yeah, and so my brother became his son. Now me as an older brother, and our Ohana will take care of him and his family, because now we all family. Yeah.
What I see what the big island guys are doing, like you guys are doing, is you guys are not only taking, receiving, but also showing you appreciation, and that touched the heart.
Like with this canoe we're talking about building for Papa. The canoe not going to belong to me, individual. We're building this for our family that's there. He gave us the opportunity to do what we're doing today. Now we're going to return the aloha and the honey to him for what he gave to us. And you're right, a lot of people forget where they all started. Yeah.
See, Papa, your fault. Mahalo.
My grandfather said, he said, same people. The people in my Christian is from here. That's why when I come to here, it's same skin, same face, same custom.
Mao is the first one who has opened navigation, this talent, this celestial navigation to everybody.
His culture the old people were kind of looked down at because it's so sacred. It's been passed on. Can you imagine it's been passed on through all this time? It was kept to where you have to earn the right to receive. You couldn't just, okay, somebody just pass on this stuff to you for no reason.
If you just go up to somebody in our culture and says, I want to learn navigation, they might trick you.
You have to earn the right to have that stuff passed down through you so you could, it's like a live stream.
See, years back, if your father is a navigator, you know that the son is learning. The way he has done it now is that it's not just father and son anymore. He has opened it up with anybody comes to him and learn.
For him to turn around and come to island, Hawaii, they don't know where the island is or whatever, to give it away. They think it's just like he's giving it away. Till today, they just. But he's so far beyond it. It's like,
From 76, like he said, he's here. When he first come here, he saw that, this was an opportunity for him to keep this culture going.
Because here before, they sailing around between the island in Polynesian area. They use the stars and the wave, the wind, and the sun. Same way in Micronesia. The story for the Hawaiian men before, they sailing from here all the way to South Pacific. Marquesas, Tahiti, Cook Island, Samoa, Tonga, but only the time when the Haole come and missionary come, they come stop everything. When Haole come to here, that's why they lost, because they throw away the culture, they follow the culture from outside. Same one in Micronesia. Now it's almost, the culture in Micronesia is almost go on because they, same like here, they follow the American custom.
I am born Japanese time 32 when the American people they come during the Japanese season in Micronesia. I am 16.
Started sailing by my own when I 18 years old, but not too far, 57 miles. Yeah, maybe. That's the one, the first one.
What were the other 18-year-olds doing? Were they also sailing alone?
No, they go, but they go with somebody, not by them all. Then my grandfather stay on the land. He like come with me, but I said, no, it's good. I'm gonna try. Somebody say maybe I'm gonna die, because they don't believe me when I was young. Then I do that.
What did the people of your island say when you successfully came back? Were they surprised?
They're surprised, but somebody say, oh, how come he too young, but he know everything? Because I know everything, because I never miss one night or one day when I start like take everything before my grandfather, he gonna die.
Now, your grandfather who taught you, was that your dad's dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Lahaina, plans for Mao's tribute are discussed, which leads to a conversation on the canoe families, Naklaiva on the Big Island, and Polynesian Voyaging Society on Oahu.
When do you want to say something?
The time for
What yeah, well, you know.
Sunday.
Sunday.
oh yeah.
Well,
Have the luncheon too.
Okay, get the lunch. When everybody come from the canoe, we go ava. After the ava, everybody's gonna come and, present gifts. Okupu, and go get one hula hula, maybe go dance.
That's right, the time.
You can speak there too.
Yes.
You wanna speak there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There was always a thing where, you guys and us guys, and I agree to doing that too. But she's asking for this time, for the ceremony on Sunday, is that whoever wants to come from wherever, whatever sailing family, whatever canoe, make sure they have to.
Mao has his two students was Nainoa and Shorty wanted to make sure that these two people was included. I want Nainoa to come because this Papa's one of Papa's students. I want Nainoa as Nainoa. Yeah. Because it is a big island thing. And it is because of Makali. What Makali stands for. But not in a sense where we want to exclude it. That was never my intention.
We'd like to see as much people as possible come from the Voyaging family, not just Makali.
In 1995, the fledgling Nakalai Va'a formed out of PVS to build Makali'i. The canoe families began functioning separately, and they were still not working as one ohana by 2001.
And that stemmed from 95. Yeah. Well, that's Paul. What you said is Paul already. So we should just go. We're the same family. Regardless of what has happened in the past and whatever. Yes.
Mao says little, but a fourth reason for his trip now emerges, and it will highly impact the speech he will give at his tribute. From this night on, Mao is determined to bring the Hawaiian canoe families back together as one. He knows they must work together as one people if the culture is to survive. This becomes the overriding mission of his visit.
Me, I say, I like if you anonymous boy, they come help you guys or my canoe because everybody, my family.
No.
And they don't forget about the culture you guys lost before. Then when I come, I show you guys about.
Mao counts on the Hawaiian Voyagers to keep the culture alive, because on Satawal, he sees his culture is disappearing.
I know before nobody used the custom from outside the Micronesia because the Japanese time they never bring the same custom to Micronesia, same German time. But when American time, they come, they bring everything. school, church, TV, radio. That's why the people this time, they don't like as the old way before because they like American custom. But they don't think the new custom is not for them from outside.
Mao and his brother Uruguay, also a great local navigator, agree to sit and talk humorously of their childhood, which leads to a discussion of their disappearing culture.
He's my brother. He's the young brother.
Were you in the village that you...
Yes, here. We born here.
What's the name of this village?
Weso.
What's
Her
that?
name is Weso. Sometimes we play together and I punch him. When I get mad to him, then I punch him.
Well, all older brothers do that. I did that
Oh,
to
yes,
my brother.
yes. Even you guys do.
Oh, yeah. So how many times you think you go sail together?
Huh?
How many times you sail together?
I don't know, maybe 1,000.
Wait, say that again?
Maybe 1,000, I think. No, maybe 60 or 80. Before when I was young, like 18 years old, 20 years old, then I never stay long time on the land. Even 1 week on the land, then I go back sailing again because I don't like to stay long time on the land. I'm not woman.
Only the women stay on the land.
Yes. Because they don't know how to work on the canoe.
Sometimes they go with us, but not always. Only.
Sometimes the women they come go to on the canoe to somewhere, but they never work. Before our time, no school, no nothing from our guys, no church.
No church.
Only culture.
We always follow the culture in here, but now that's a little different. When the canoe went to fishing and come back even 10 or 20 fishes, and they bring to the shore land, and they cut into many pieces to share to everyone in here. But now it's a little different. The boat went fishing and caught 30 or 40, but not distribute amount the people, but just for those for the owner of the boat. It's a little different now.
You know, and because from the money.
The money.
They think about the money. More, the boat is from the money. The engine is from the money. That's why they do that. They're gonna catch some fish. They never split to the people. They never pass around on the people because they think about the money. That's why I say the money is crazy. When they hold the money, that's why they crazy, because from the money.
The boat and engine is good because helps the canoe. But the people, they don't know how to use the
My brother say
canoe.
the boat is good, but I say the boat is no good.
No, that's good, but the people is no good. They don't know how to use the boat and engine.
That's right. The people no good because from
of the
boat.
money. Because of the money.
Because
they think about the money.
I never give you because the boat is for my money. See?
When did that all change then?
When?
When?
When the Christian come.
1948. That's the time we have schooling here, and the priest always come on the trip.
When the Christian name, then little bit change everything. Not everything, but little bit. And then they bring the school here, big change. Why the church? That's why now it's changed everything. They throw the culture because this one, the church here, and the school over there. Everything changed.
Now we really miss our
Because they follow
culture.
the holy way.
Long time we always respect everything. But now, no.
I told you before in Hawaii, nobody respect
about the culture, about the father, about the grandfather, grandma. Because when the American come, bring the new way, new culture, that's why the people in this time, they follow that. That's why they lost everything.
The more Mao airs his feelings and fears about Micronesia, the clearer it becomes why it's so important to him for the Hawaiian voyagers to work together as one, to help preserve the culture and the navigation taught to him by his grandfather. It was on Hokulea in the mid-70s that Mao first brought his navigational skills.
Being born and raised in Hawaii, there were no navigators. There was nothing to relate to. It wasn't really decided and taught in the schools that the Polynesians indeed do what they did. Just like in the past, and they never brought it up. It was never part of any curriculum, or it wasn't part of any kind of inspiration or pride. So our generation, in that time in Mauking, we're still kind of in that mode. We always wondered like how our ancestors were and how they did things. And then when Mao showed up, he was the living ancestor. He knew everything. We learned everything about our own selves through him. And around that time, that's when I think everything started changing to where there was all of a sudden there is like interest in our culture, and this people start feeling this pride, and that's why around that time few people were really interested in Hokulea because of the cultural resurgence.
In Hana, Mao sits for a rare interview about Hokulea's historic first voyage to Tahiti in 1976, the voyage he navigated and on which he first showed the Hawaiians the ancient ways.
My dad, Sam Kalalau, has sailed with Hokulea in 76 going to Tahiti, and Mao and my dad are very close. Okay, what we're going to talk about is on your journey in 76, what kind of food you guys had on the Hokulea? You guys had coconut, right?
Yeah,
To eat, right?
yeah, coconut.
Coconut,
Fish, dry fish,
fish, breadfruit.
Taro, and they make meaning then the boss said, we don't use the American food, like rice, canned meat. They want local food.
Oh, Polynesian way?
Yes, yeah.
Like coconut,
Mhm.
yeah?
Yeah.
When you guys got stuck in the doldrum for what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks.
And what did you guys do in the doldrum?
Nothing. Nothing. That's why they jump.
Everybody was alright, or everybody went crazy?
No. Everybody all right.
Everybody alright.
So they jump in the water, they go
They go
swimming.
swim. In the shark pond?
Yeah, because they scrap outside the canoe.
Oh, the
For the
bunny.
Hey, you guys don't do that. When you do that, they don't, the sorry come. Everybody.
Out of the water.
Yeah.
On 1976 voyage, we spent 30, how many days, Mom? 30 days, 31 days, yeah?
31.
31. Out of 31 days, maybe he slept. He never slept. He stayed. Wow. You don't sleep, huh?
No.
He would sleep, maybe he would kidnap. After 3 or 4 days, he would kidnap for maybe half an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I later realized that's what a navigator is. You cannot rest, you cannot sleep, you cannot jeopardize the responsibility.
You know, and when somebody gonna sleeping, you may be taking they sleeping on the land. When you're sleeping too much, you don't think about the direction. You miss the island. Maybe you're gonna die.
Papa, how do you train yourself to stay awake like that?
You know, I'm six or seven. Then my grandfather told me, when you try that, you don't think about sleeping. No, what you do when you wake up is you go wrong way.
So from outside, you look into Tahiti, you see all these people there when you guys arrive in Tahiti?
Oh, yeah. When we go inside, I look inside the harbor, on the beach, in the water, on the tree.
In the roof.
In the roof.
And everybody's celebrating Mao.
Yeah.
Everybody celebrate Mao and his navigation. But it's more than a navigator.
More than.
He teaches us how to navigate,
Yeah.
how to sail. He comes down to the Snug Harbor and stays with us there. He doesn't go away, he stays with us. And we get to know him and we get to trust him. And so he tells us he can take us to Tahiti and we believe him. It's so simple.
You're right, arrived in Hawaii, never been in Hawaii. Never been to Tahiti, but was ready to take the Hawaiian canoe to Tahiti. There was nobody really on board to help him. He was by himself.
How long did you prepare for the sail?
75 to 76. When I come to Hawaii first, 1973.
I'm not coming here for teaching or share about the culture and navigation. When I come here with Mike McCoy,
The time when he come Peace Corps in Miami, then they meet him and my niece. The time for he married my niece.
then he told me, I want to take you to Hawaii. When I go to vacation, then you come with me.
I've been living on Saddlewall, and I was in the Peace Corps there, and I knew him there, of course, and did a lot of sailing with him. We went on several trips to Pogela, which is West Faiu, to catch turtles and bring them back to the island. And Piailug had worked with me on a project I had, a marine resources project, tagging turtles. So when I left, I asked him if he wanted to come with me.
Scientists in Eastward Center, they start make meeting about the Hokulea. And then Mike Mogo take me to the meeting.
I wrote a couple of articles about traditional navigation, Saddlewalli's navigation, and I've been in touch with Ben Finney, who was teaching anthropology at that time. At that time was the planning phases, I take it, of what ended up being the Polynesian Voyaging Society. That these guys wanted to start to create a renaissance in Polynesian navigation and Hawaiian sailing.
The time for the as who's the navigator, take the canoe from Hawaii to Tahiti.
Herb Kane was there, and Tommy Holmes, and maybe one or two others, and Ben, but I didn't know these people at the time.
And then they asked Mike, you think who? Mike said, the guy stay with us tonight.
It wasn't necessarily sailing the thing or navigating the canoe or building the canoe or anything else. It was just, we'd like to talk to somebody. We'd like to be able to, to learn a little bit firsthand from someone, and we're thinking about bringing this guy from Puluwat. And I said, well, why do that? Here's Piailug. Here's a navigator and a canoe builder. I made that point. This is not just a guy that knows navigation. He's a master canoe builder already. He builds canoes.
75. They call me, they pay me. Come back to Honolulu.
And I come help them for build the Hokulea.
That's how we get to meet each other, by putting a canoe together. The canoe is and was that bring people together, all kinds of people. You build them, you sell them. Feel like a Hawaiian when you sell one canoe on Hawaiian canoes, because it's part of our heritage. Meeting Mao. From the first time I met him to now, seems like I just would meet him. Because every time you meet him, it's an experience. You learn something by watching him and trying to listen to what he's saying. So that's it. Open your ears, open your eyes, and shut up.
But I told Ben, I said, one of the things about Piailug, aside from the fact he has been a little bit to school and he's been here for 6 months and his English is, getting better and better, and is that this guy, even more than the navigators on Saddlewall, is that his mind is always moving. His brain is always going. The wheels are always turning. You could roll out a navigational chart, and you could show, here's Hawaii, here's Tahiti, here's the compass rose, here's everything, and then here's, and he could put it all together. He could put together, the concept, the westernized version, the Saddlewallis or the Carolinian methodology of how they do it, and come up with a winning combination. And I didn't know any other navigator. There's some great guys. There's some wonderful guys on Saddlewall. Some navigators that had much greater reputations than Piailug at the time I was there. A couple of older guys that I knew, and I'd sail with them too, went on trips with them. But None of them had this, this combination of factors, but this guy had the whole package. This guy was different. He was really special.
After a month at sea, Mao made landfall using only the stars and swells and the sun, proving the ancient Polynesians were once master voyagers, and inspiring all the Polynesian islands to reclaim their culture.
What he did is, what he's still doing is so amazing, so amazing. He is a product of a good student that followed and learned all the teachings from everything that's passed down for, through time. And this is who he is. Very few cultures or people could look at a person and say that about him and realize how incredibly valuable, that is.
Who named you Mao?
Everybody crazy in here. Mao is a nickname, not.
I know.
Not really. When I go play around with somebody like baseball or what, then I make funny kind. That's why they call me Mao. When I catch the turtle in the sea, when I catch like this mixed through, the turtle is almost done. That's why they call me Mao. You know Mao? Strong man. Yeah.
You like the name Mao?
I like because they call me, I'm Mr. That's why I like because they call me, you strong man. Oh, thank you.
Back on the Big Island, Mao visits for the first time a halau near Hokulea Harbor. The proximity of the halau to the ocean reminds Mao of his home in Micronesia and puts a smile on his face.
I like the beach here. And then easy for go outside there, go catch the fish.
Mao sits and recounts his voyages on Hokulea. Early days with the Hawaiian voyaging ohana.
You did how many sails with Hokulea?
How many sails? On Hokulea to somewhere?
Yeah, to anywhere.
First 76, 80.
We're out there. We signed on the canoe to learn, not to just get to Tahiti. It was what's more important. We may not understand it now, but what's important is a process, not necessarily the outcome. Navigation is a progression.
Nainoa Thompson, Mao's student, is the first open ocean Hawaiian navigator in centuries.
Make a decision based on what was before.
The first trip is a little bit problem, but this trip is everything good. No problem.
Good sail.
Yeah, oh yeah, good. 85.
Tonight in this special report, we will bring you all of the excitement of Hokulea's latest trip to Tahiti.
How are you? Good. It's Minister Basile.
Welcome.
It's really gonna mean a lot to a lot of people. We don't really feel it until we come here, man, and it's just overwhelming.
When we left the island, then we already divorced ourselves from the island, Our total concern was the canoe and the safety of the crew and the canoe.
The thing about the crew that impressed me the most, that they went through so much, I would say, adversity in the weather.
Thompson's teacher, Mao Piailug, will sail on all of the legs. His presence is a great comfort to Thompson.
He can cover me where I could fail, and I know I'm not like him. I'm just his student, and that's just like the difference you see. Like a lot of the things like this trip were, like I said, was adverse and was different because it's all new to me, but it's not new to him. He's seen it all before.
Of his student, Piailug says Thompson could find the way to Tahiti without him.
Sometimes he told me, Mao, come help me because I'm a little bit lost. And I come out and I go help him. About sometime no can see the stars, the nighttime. No can see the stars and daytime too. And I said, okay, daytime is looking that way.
86, 95. That's one. 5 times. Rapanui, they go to Rapanui, but I'm not going because the time for Makani go down to Micronesia. That's why I'm not going to Rapanui because I go with crane, sorry permanent on the Makali.
And was that your favorite voyage?
Oh yeah, yes. Because my home, I know everybody, that one is, they happy when I come. Then they happy because they, first time they saw the Hawaiian people. Nobody see the Hawaiian people before. All the way down to Guam Saipan. Everybody come see the crew come from Hawaii because the first time.
The way all the Hawaiian voyagers revere Mao is awe-inspiring. While on Sarawak, the people share respect for Mao's abilities, but they know him somewhat differently.
Yes, people here call him the best and the last navigator.
Yeah, I'll say he's a Grandmaster Navigator because I think he's the oldest navigator on the island. So it's a really good name to call him Grandmaster Navigator.
Mao, the people from here say that Mao is the best navigator.
That's what they call him when he came on Makali. He's the Grand Master Navigator.
The navigators always be the father of the crew.
Whoever comes with them, only one family. He's the father. Be like a father on the voyage. And all the crews will be just like your sons.
Time to eat, only the navigator will say.
Even it's time for lunch, and the navigator didn't say anything about serving the lunch.
You cannot eat or drink until the navigator says so.
His job is to make sure that the canoe is the right course, and make sure that everybody is in good shape, and make sure everybody didn't fall in the ocean.
All the crews always scared of him because he shouted, and at the time he was still strong. Once he tells you something to do, you have to be, right away you have to stand up and do whatever he wants you to do.
If you went with him as a crew on his canoe, you better prepare yourself because there is no time for sitting around.
Because if you're maybe 5 seconds late, and then he'll shout to you and you get scolded most of the time. And if you did something wrong on the canoe, oh man, that's scary.
The reasons of our trips between our islands is to search for our food like turtles and fish.
You sail to West Fayette and Piccolo to bring back fish and turtle.
He's been feeding the island for a long time.
Oh, a lot of funny things about Master Mao.
Yes, so many funny stories and great adventures with Mao. He likes to drink with young people, young men, and teasing. He likes to enjoy with youngsters.
He's a fun person too. He's very serious, but he's a very funniest.
When I saw them in Hawaii, they know me. Now we see crazy.
One time we went to West Fayette. He told the people here that we're going to go off to one of the island and get turtle for Satwal people. So we sail out. It's really bad. We went there. There's no turtle coming up on the land. So we stayed there for 1 week. And when we came back, we tried to sneak in that at night. But here, But that was funny because Mao doesn't want that. But he has no choice because we keep telling him, let's go back. I said, we cannot. There's no turtle. I already promised the chiefs, the people, that we're going to bring some turtle. And we keep saying, sorry, Mao, there's no turtle. So on our way back to here, we told him, can you make it so we arrive at night? And he was trying his best, but when we arrived here, a lot of people were awake because they know that we're coming back. So they asked, the first thing they asked us, where are the turtles? But that's the last one Mao, I think that's one of the trip Mao really hate.
But a long time ago, I think this is the most important thing on the island, the navigation and skills of building canoes. But during my time when I was a little kid, it's a little bit different from a long time ago.
Like Piailug, I too am not very happy with the way the younger generations are looking at the culture.
We are losing the skills slowly.
This next group is different.
Yeah.
Because they're mixed up between the Western culture and the traditional culture.
Guys my age is still interested in the knowledge, navigation. But the younger ones, I don't know, maybe they learn Western styles and they don't like our cultural ways anymore. I don't think they really like it. Maybe they think it's boring.
That's why I think that's one of the reasons he went away and teach other people how to do navigation. Because he was fed up with us here, not wanting to learn more the local navigation.
And Mao started to teach other people, and now he's teaching us, the young generation of Sato.
Mao is very good because he knows the Western way of teaching. He said, why keep with me? I want to share so everybody knows. When I die, you continue. That's his word. He told us, you guys, don't be afraid. Come over, ask me.
I would say it's like that, 4,000 years old. People will really feel sorry for themselves in the future of Sarawal when we lose this culture.
With Maxiwaramai, a fellow Micronesian, Mao begins to write the speech he will give in 3 weeks at his tribute in Hilo. His aim is to compose a speech encouraging the Hawaiian voyagers on all the islands to sail together as one.
So we started off where he wants to thank everybody who's there, thank them for getting there that day. The Micronesia, the Polynesia, the Melanesia. And then he say that the gathering is not just for him, but for all of us. He's a father not just to Hawaii, but he's father to the whole Pacific. This sail that just happened on Makali'i has waken up the whole Micronesia. It's just like the way Hokulea went through the Polynesian island. It just opened up everybody's eyes. And then he say that, don't forget, at the beginning of these journeys, he wants it to just keep it as one. Keep it going as just one group, one people. To you, brother and sister, and to all my children, this is what's in my heart. Nainoa, Shori, and Cesario, I'm gonna say again to the three of you that it's a lot stronger when we're all together than if you want to do it alone. Our canoes are so small that the longest trips we could make is maybe 12 days, and then you run out of food on the canoe. And that's one of his vision, one of his dreams, is if we could make like a more like a Hawaiian canoe. The Hawaiian canoe is made for long journeys, and he feels that if it could happen where one could be built for Micronesia, and then this vision that he has to carry on this navigation is going to come more in play, and then that interest is going to just keep rolling. Mao belongs in the ocean. He's having fun on land, but I really feel that Mao belongs at sea. That's where he's more comfortable than anything.
Papa, that true?
Yeah.
As May gives way to June, Mao will stay on the Big Island with Clay and Shorty Bertleman, wait for his upcoming tribute in Hilo, and talk story with Clay, planning the canoe to be built for Micronesia in hopes of helping save the culture in his homeland.